Good evening. Welcome to the latest edition of Storm Report Live. I am one of the co-hosts, Chris Sipperly. I'm a general manager as well as a co-owner of Southern Vermont Storm. I'm joined by Adam Samarov, who is my co-host. He's also assistant coach on the offensive side of the ball as a coach, and he's also has experience in the journalism world. So with that, I want to introduce Xavier Bermudez. He's one of the new players here with the Storm. And with that, Adam, I'll pass it off to you.
All right. So we have a lot of new guys this year, and Xavier is one of them. Only 19 years old, just graduated recently from Ravina, Amon Selkirk High School, RCS down there, down a little south of Albany. Tell me a little bit about, your life growing up and when you first started getting into football.
All right, so I got into football when I was about 7 or 8. I started playing Pop Warner actually at Ravina. I was living with my mom in Coxsackie, but my dad lived in Ravina, so I'd come up during the summers and I'd play Pop Warner, and that's how I really started falling in love. Is when I was just down here for the summer, they just asked me, "Hey, you want to come play Pop Warner?" And from that day on, football was just always my number one. It's not even like a sport to me; it's more of a love than anything. So I'd say that.
What did you play when you first got in? I mean, were you like a running back right away, or a receiver, or where did they put you when you first started playing?
When I first started playing, I was actually a left guard on defense and offense, and then I played 7 years of Pop Warner, and the last two I finally thinned down a little bit, got a little bit of speed, and became a fullback and a linebacker, and I started watching a little bit more football. Probably when I was 9, probably 2 years after football got a little bit more serious for me, and I got a role model in the NFL. Ray Lewis was my favorite player at the time, so I started wearing 52 because I played linebacker, and that's just how I fell in love with it. It was just watching Ray Lewis and playing linebacker, all Pop Warner until I got to modified.
Okay, and tell me about when you get into high school. You're being a coach for many years. Gary Vanderzee is a legend in Section 2. I think he's somewhere in the top 5 of career wins and stuff like that. Just talk about playing for a coach that's got that much pedigree and someone who has a great eye for talent.
It's tough. It's a lot of pressure, honestly, because he's not gonna go easy on you at all. He was very hard on me every practice. You can't back around Coach Vanderzee. We have no off days. He's very old school, so a lot of the things he says, you can't take to heart. He was brought up at a different time, so he's a little bit more rougher, and a lot of kids really don't understand the tough love type of coaching that he brings along to the football coaching, I'd say. But playing for him, it was great. He's got a lot of knowledge. He sees the game from different point of views that I didn't see at all. I was in a corner before I got to Ravina, and they prayed to me that I could play at corner. I could play receiver, even though I literally just got thinner and I used to play running back. It was a weird change for me, but they made me feel confident enough to make that change to play corner and receiver. And
talk about your going.
Yeah, I know. I'm having the same problem. Is that you, Adam? Go ahead.
Yeah. Talk about, leaving, graduating from Ravina, and then, did you play in school anywhere, or did you kind of just go into the job force and then decide, hey, I want to put on the pads again?
I got to Hudson Valley right after I graduated from high school last year, and I really didn't know what I really wanted to do. I was going as a physical education teacher, but I didn't really like the pay for that, the pay outlook for it. But I wanted to be a coach. I knew I wanted to be a coach. I really love coaching football and being around it. So I did August camp for Hudson Valley, and then I realized that it took up a majority of my time, 7 days a week. We got doubles every day from 6 a.m. to 6:30. So it was just a lot for me that whole month, and I needed to work personally. I don't come
Yeah,
from like
I
a rich
understand that.
family or a family
Sure.
that has a lot of money, so I have to work.
Mm-hmm.
So I just decided to take the year off and figure out what I really wanted to do. And I started working actually this whole past year. I started doing fencing and decking, so I learned a whole trade for a year.
That's
basically.
great. That's important.
And I was making really good money, and I still am. So that's what I'm still doing. But I'm still going to Hudson Valley. I'm studying criminal law. I really didn't know what I wanted to do, if I wanted to play college or if I didn't. Like, it's just a time-consuming thing for me, and I'm more focused on my career and my future money-wise than I am football-wise. So I feel like that's my decision for me.
So then, tell me about, how you got involved with the Storm. I mean, did you see something about it and, hey, I want to put the pads back on, or how did you kind of get involved and get to the point where you are now in terms of playing for us coming up next year?
I'm ready to play in pads. I'm tired of playing flag football. Flag football does not compare to tackle at all.
Yep.
And just
I agree.
Coaching tackle, like, it makes me like hungry to want to put pads on and hit. Like, I'm sitting at practice with my kids tonight, and I'm like, dude, if I was 9 years old again, I would rock you right now. Like that's what I'm thinking, because I'm just so ready to play again. And I know that's bad to say, but I haven't put pads on in a year, and it's honestly been a long year without pads. So I'm ready to put pads on. I have a couple of guys that played at Storm, so they were always telling me about it, but I'm like, dude, like, I'm so young, I could probably still play college. Like, I was always debating it. I'm like, you guys are like 30 years old playing semi-pro football. You guys are going to try to hurt me. Like, I'm really with it. And then I watched Troy Fighting Irish a little bit last year, and I got like an idea of what semi-pro was. I didn't really like how unorganized it seemed, but when I seen the Storm, you guys were organized. You guys have media. You guys are like very organized, and I like that. And my buddy Brian Grimes, he's on my flag team, and he was talking to me about the Storm, and he was like, you should come play. And our head coach he's one of our refs, Gary.
Yep.
Right. He's our head coach, or what is he?
Gary's gonna, well, in terms of title, it's associate head coach, but he's gonna be working with the defense primarily. Yep. No, he's a great guy. No, we're very lucky.
So
we have some good coaches.
Well, I just wanted to say, as someone who's
I saw a lot of the players you guys had.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say, as someone who coaches as well, because I coach at Mount Anthony as an assistant, I'm 42 in March, and I don't want to put the pads back on. These kids would beat the crap out of me. It's the difference between 42 and 19.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no doubt. Like,
wait, you said St. Anthony?
Mount Anthony, right in Bennington, Vermont, right in our main town.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's last year they were the you're gonna have to forgive me because I don't remember what section, but they were state champions.
Division II state champions we were last year.
Which is huge because that program has come so far in what, a 5-year period, you say, Adam?
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a little bit more than a class. But
Mount Anthony in Division II is probably the equivalent of a high level B class program in New York. So you think of your Glens Falls, you guys, that kind of thing. That's the same level as us. We were talking New York versus Vermont.
Yep.
But yeah, like so you talked to Brian, you got involved with those guys. Was it tough in a way to, like, okay, we're gonna take 23 off, we're gonna kind of regroup and then come back? I mean, is it kind of tough in terms of that, or are you just like, hey, I'll wait as long as I gotta wait and then let's go?
I mean, I was kind of happy to take the year off because when I graduated high school, I was about $145. So this whole year, I feel like I've gotten the chance to continue to play. I travel to play flag, so I feel like my speed, I've put on a good 30 pounds since high school. So, and I'm lifting a lot. Like this past year, I've been lifting a lot, so I'm feeling a lot better physically, I'd say. So I think I'm just ready to play. I'm ready to play. That's just it.
No, that's great because, like, we of course, go through. I don't want to say go through a lot of guys, but there's a lot of guys that, look to play for the Storm, And through the years, one of the biggest things that I've noticed in terms of being, ready to go versus not being ready to go, a lot of times it comes down to not playing a year and you miss it. And it kind of sounds like that's kind of where you're at. I think it's important because it's one of those things where, you gotta regain that hunger, after a year. I know that's how I feel, coming back here as a team. So I'm excited for everybody that's coming in, everybody that's going to be returning, and it should be a great year.
Definitely. I'm excited.
I mean, so you talked about, you said you were in high school, you were like a corner, defensive back. Is that something you were, hoping to play again, or do you want to try to move around, or what's the season look like to you in terms of what you're going to be doing?
I mean, I feel like offensively, I could play anywhere: quarterback, running back, receiver, any skill position you guys need. I'm very versatile, so I mean, wherever is needed, I just want to play. Defensively, I feel more confidently with my offensive play style, but I don't mind playing corner as long as I get the jam. I like to be physical at the corner spot.
Mhm.
So, and a lot of corners, or a lot of like the coach I had previously for high school, he really didn't. He wanted us to play like 7 yards off, but like I felt so confident that I could play up,
No,
because giving a guy 7 yards sounds crazy to me. So I that's just me personally, but I hope to play offense or anywhere needed, return wise too, kickoff, wherever is needed. I just want to be a team player and do what I do best.
No, that's the name of the game right there. I think there's a lot of opportunity for a bunch of people this year, providing that they, take the team first mentality, because there's a lot of opportunity. We're gonna have a really good team. Like I'm not gonna sit here and tell you we're gonna win everything, but I can tell you that we're gonna be very solid. So, in the end, I think it's a good opportunity for everybody involved. Now, you had sort of touched on you're coaching Pop Warner. You said,
yes, sir.
What age group?
I coach 9 and 10U.
Right. So
You're that first tackle group then, the third and fourth graders.
Well, actually, I coached last year, and I coached 7 and 8.
Oh wow.
Okay, so you got some of the kids that came up as 8-year-olds, now they're 9, and now you're coaching them again.
Yep, and I'm coaching them again. I got the same exact group, and after last season ended, I decided to do 3 sessions indoor flag, so I could keep our receivers and our running backs and our quarterbacks chemistry, together for going into this season. So now we have one of the best pass offenses, I would say, in 9 and 10U.
How has being a coach, even again in the youth level, which is obviously where they're learning it the most, how has that changed your perspective as a football player? In terms of like, okay, you've seen it from the other side, what the kids are about, and then coming in as a player, has it changed your perspective, and if so, how?
I'd say it's changed my perspective of knowing your players, really, because each player is coached differently. They can't all be coached the same. So you got to know how to talk to your players. And I feel like a lot of coaches don't know how to talk to their players. And I think that might be a big issue of why players end up hating your coach. I mean, personally, if you're not hating your coach, he's probably not doing what he's doing as a coach. But if you're a good coach, if you're a good coach, you're going to want to understand your players and see it from their point of view too, and be able to talk to them. Not everything's going to be yelled at or whatever, especially at 9 and 10 years old. Like, compared to when I was 9 and 10 playing Pop Warner to now, the rules have changed so much. We can't do half the drills we used to do. We can't talk to them the way we used to do. Like, the kids are kind of babied and pampered nowadays, which I hate to say because my brothers are on my team too. But I push them a little bit harder than everybody else. I like the perspective that I had as a player before. I didn't realize how hard it was to actually be a coach and the time and effort that goes into it now.
That's important. That is so important.
And I appreciate all my coaches for putting the time and effort into preparing us, scouting. Yeah. Like, that stuff's very important, and I do it nowadays for our Pop Warner team because that's what our coaches did for us as a Pop Warner team. They always made sure we were prepared.
Well, that's a perspective that I wish more people had, but again, it's hard, unless you do it, you don't know. And that's the important thing, is just being aware, like, all the work that goes into just being, having a team put together, let alone winning. It's important.
It's definitely been a challenge.
Yeah.
Just being a coach and not playing. I'd say that it just like my emotions are so much different. I'm like, I got to be a coach. Like I'm not a player, and I can't play for the kids that are out there on the field. So
right.
It sucks sometimes. I lose my head a little bit. I'm walking up and down the sideline pacing because I'm just ready to lose it. Like I'm 19 years old, growing grays already. It's all right.
Yeah, well, that's part of it. Like that's the thing. Like that's when you care. That's when you're doing a good job. Is when things start to annoy you. Yeah, as soon as things don't annoy you, then I don't want to see you've given up, but you've kind of lost touch. At least that's how it's been for me.
That happened to me on Friday against Middlebury. I'm like all over the place, and I'm going for the kids, and they're like, "Coach, you're at like the 15-yard line. Get back."
I know. I'm the worst.
I'm like,
I'm real bad. Like I don't have to worry about it this year, but like I know for certain I've been on the field during touchdowns. So, I don't know. I need to work on that myself. So definitely understand that. So, I got a couple questions for you, then we'll kind of wrap it up. So,
all right.
So you obviously played varsity football, and you had clearly had success, certainly based on your film, and you continue to have success with the flag. Looking back on your high school career, is there a game or a play that you're just going to be like, all right, that was awesome. I hope to do that again.
I'd say my senior night. I had a pick six. And I feel like that moment right there, if I could relive that moment again, I'd do it again. And the fact that we had 5 seconds left before halftime and we scored was even more exciting because we went into halftime on senior night up 21-0 at halftime. And then the third quarter came out and I scored on a Hail Mary. Like just ran a go route. He just threw it over the top. Safety tried to undercut it. Touchdown. And like I'd say that game right there was like the game I'd want to relive and just play again.
Now I'm gonna ask you a question that you probably can't answer, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. If you had somebody that you could play with, if there's somebody that you could play with out there, whether it was somebody you played high school with, somebody you played high school against, somebody that you played flag with, is there somebody out there that you would love to play again in pads?
Could I? If they're already on the team? Can I say that I can't wait to play with them?
There you go. That's good enough answer.
I'm not gonna put you on the spot. I'm excited to play with. I'm excited to play with Brian, Kai Shifty, Troy Trent.
Yeah.
Everybody that I know, Mark, all my guys that I'm close with on the flag league that play semi-pro. I'm really excited to play with them. Those group of guys right there, BB. All of them.
Hey, can I cut in for a second, real quick? I just did a search because I was trying to remember, and I thought that you did this against my alma mater, Gloversville, the 99-yarder in the Super Bowl. So
yes, sir. I did.
That's my school.
I had 2 touchdowns that game too in our Section 2 championship game.
There we go. Okay, so I saw that. I was like, oh no.
Well, love you, bro.
The funny thing is, like, so before we went on, we found out that you're a Giants fan. We know that Adam is a Cowboys fan. Now I just heard that you did what you did to his high school. Oh, we did. Now, I don't know, man. You guys
we can coexist. You stay with your skill guys. I'll be with the big uglies, and we'll be just just playing.
No, it's good stuff because that's the thing. That's what this is about. This is about it's football. It's a team sport. It's a brotherhood, and getting to know each other is a big part of it, which is why we do what we do here. It gets your name out. It gets an opportunity to kind of build some excitement around the team, and as we start looking towards 2024, which is not too far away. What are your personal goals for the team? Or actually, what are your goals? I should say for your rookie season.
Just to touch the field. I just want to play. I want to play. I want to win some games. I want to build chemistry with the guys around me. I feel like team chemistry is very important. So as much time as we can hang out together, I want to do it. Mm-hmm. Personally, for me, I just want to be better than I was last year. And I feel like I didn't reach my max potential my senior year because of our offense. We're we're really run heavy, I should say. So I was only touching the ball at least like twice a game. So I feel like there's just a lot of room to prove what I could do. So I just want to do that.
Hey, it's building blocks. You can't something as simple as you can't win a championship in week 1. You know what I mean? You gotta build.
Definitely.
We've seen that in the NFL right now. Like how many teams won the first game and just went into a complete nosedive. It's all about each and every week getting better.
Oh no, the Giants won the second game and then went in a nosedive. Well, first game they got killed anyway, but the second game they won,
Yeah,
Arizona.
I'm over the whole season already. Just cancel the Giants season for the year.
That's it.
We got to go into rebuilding. It's bad.
That's the thing. Like when you look at it, like I understand why they did what they did, but the reality of it is, it's like hindsight's 20/20. But they weren't like a team that really should have just bought free agents. They really should have, like you said, a rebuild. Like I know it's hard to pass on Danny Dimes, but the reality of it is, it's really not. He's not the guy. At least I don't think. But it's week to week. He can go out and play great next week, and then next week not so much. But the reality of it is, they are nothing without Shaquan, in my opinion.
Sip says this as a team with his team scoring 48 and beating the pants off Miami last week.
Hey, you know what? Listen. They can go and get curb stomped by the Jags this week. We don't know. It's week to week, man. It's matchups.
And you never know. They're in London. The Bills will have jet lag. The Jags are like, we've been here the whole time.
Well, you know what's funny? Well, it's not funny, certainly, but the Bills are flying out Friday, landing 9 a.m. local time on Saturday. They have a walkthrough practice on Saturday. So they're going to be up 24 hours and then go to bed and play a 1 o'clock kickoff. So I have no idea why they wouldn't go down Wednesday or Thursday. I don't know why they wait till the last minute. But
I forgot Zuri was on the team. My fault, Zuri. My fault to interrupt. I just got to read the chats.
Oh, Zori. Yeah, he's been putting ring emojis in there and everything. He's good to go too.
Brian,
he's got the
backup.
emoji
right,
and everything.
Brian, I got you with that backup. I got you with your water too. I got you.
Hey, water's important. Gotta hydrate. So this is the last question I have for you. Being new to the team, what should your teammates expect out of you? Like what are you going to bring to them, or what are you going to bring to the team this year as a new player? Like what should they expect?
Commitment. Very committed. I'm going to be committed 110%. I'd say loyalty, because I'm going to have my guys back no matter what happens through the whole game, practices. I'm going to work hard every practice, and I'm going to try to bring the best out of you. I don't care if we're friends or not. There's no friends on the football field. And a leader. I feel like I'm a great leader, and even though I'm young, I feel like I have a lot of knowledge compared to most. And I feel like I could pick guys up in a lot of ways. So I just want to be a good character and a good player and a good teammate to everybody else around me, and that's what they're going to expect. I'm not selfish. I'm not nothing like that. I'm not big on my ego. Like I'm really team oriented. I want to be a team, a family. That's what you're going to expect out of me.
No, that's good stuff, man. Like I said a few minutes ago, it is a lot of teams, and they always say, oh, it's a family, it's a brotherhood, etc. But that is something that we're really focused here on. We've heard that a lot over the years, that we've kind of a family atmosphere, but we gotta hold each other accountable too at the same time. We gotta be ready to roll. So man, I want to thank you for taking the time. I was excited to speak with you. We haven't had a chance to talk since September. No, more like August. Well, I think last time.
Yeah, we haven't talked on the phone since August, but we did talk a little bit about the Bills and Giants season a little bit. Told you that I was at that Harvard college game.
Yeah.
I didn't even know Harvard had a football team. I was like, what the hell?
Wait, Brian Fitzpatrick was a Harvard guy.
That's right.
I didn't even know that. I was just clueless. I got to the stadium, like, we're playing Harvard because my girlfriend's family is from Minnesota, so St. Thomas, I think it is, from Minnesota, came down, and
They're now they're Division 1 now. They used to be D3 and they moved all the way up to D1.
Yep.
Oh wow! When did that happen?
2 years ago.
Oh wow!
Or no, last fall. 2022 was their first year.
Well, I know. Like, what is the Ivy League considered?
Division 1. It's FCS. It's like Albany.
Okay. It's
the same as Albany or Holy Cross or any of those. Villanova's at FCS.
Yeah. I think the team that Lias works for is FES.
Where the hell is he out of? He's in Georgia,
Montana.
Or Montana. They might, if it's just if it's the one, their division, they're D1 FCS or FBS. They're the big ones.
Okay, yeah, I forgot what he said last week.
They're in like the Big Sky or whatever.
That's exactly it. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, I mean, Adam, do you have any more questions or anything else you want to touch on?
I don't. I can keep spitting out names and numbers if you want, but I think we've come to a close.
All right, so what we'll do is we'll wrap it up with this. A week from this coming Friday is our first team meeting, which will be at Shooter's Bar and Grill here in Troy. That's from
13.
Yep, Friday the 13th. So it's from 6:30 to 8. We're going to lay out all of our plans, all the things that the coaches and myself have been working on. There's some really good information. Everyone's going to see the uniforms that you'll be able to try on, and we'll start doing that process, and that way there we'll be ready to go first practice, and hopefully take it to them. So that's the plan.
Awesome, I'm excited.
So, all right, guys, we'll see you soon.
Thank you guys.
Nice to talk to you.
Have a good night.
You too.